Saturday provides the most anticipated game of the season, maybe the toughest test so far for the third-ranked team in the country, the Queens men's basketball team. And we're joined by the head coach of the Royals, Bart Lundy. Coach, I want to go back to a comment you made to me back in the summer. And you said, we're not going to start 12-0 this year. It's just a different unit with several new parts, 11 new players. We could be better, but we won't start 12-0. You didn't start 12-0. You started 13-0. Setting a record for best start to a season in program history, also the longest winning streak in program history. Would you like to retract that statement?
No, I just think it proves that most of the things I say are false. So, no, they've been a good group. They've worked hard, and obviously we've had quicker success than we anticipated.
Let's put a bow on the Catawba game before we move ahead to Lincoln Memorial. I thought it was a good sign for your team to show the fortitude. Haven't played many close games this season. It was close down the stretch. You led most of the way, trailed at one point in the second half, ultimately pull out a 6-point victory against a physical team. But you also featured a seventh different leading scorer in a game this season, and that's Jared Hendricks with 23 points, a new career high. I thought it showed a different side of your team that we haven't yet seen this season.
Yeah, Jared, I think without his play last night, we don't win that game on the road. And he really made some big-time post moves, key rebounds on both ends of the floor. And we did show some grit down the stretch. We didn't play very well. We didn't play how we typically play as a unit. So to get a win there against a team that was really very well prepared and highly motivated and who played well, we'll take it and head on back to Charlotte.
Yeah, they had 2.5 weeks to prepare, also forced 21 turnovers, very uncharacteristic of your unit. Let's talk Lincoln Memorial, an interesting team this year. For the first time in 6 years, they fall out of the top 25 rankings. They've been a powerhouse of late, especially in the SAC. 3 early losses to teams that you've crushed, 2 of them. Yet they turn around on New Year's Eve and beat Bellarmine, the 5th-ranked team in the country, and Bellarmine's kind of been a perennial power as well in Division II basketball. So what do you make of this Lincoln Memorial team?
I just think they've got, similar to the statement I made to you in the summer, they've got some new pieces that they're trying to blend together. They're playing some young kids who are playing their first college basketball. And they're a team that is progressing, and you can see how they're getting better and better. The fact that they've lost 3 games, and we haven't lost, may be to their benefit coming into this game, because I think they may be hungrier than we are, and that's what we have to fight. But you can see how talented they are. I think by the end they could be as good as their unit last year.
Last year's team at times just seemed unbeatable. Now, ultimately, they did fall in the national championship game to Augustana, but they didn't lose a game in South Atlantic Conference play. That's the first time that's ever happened in the conference's history. How do you compare their team this year to that of last year's team, a team that was very guard-heavy and had a very strong backcourt?
Yeah, I think inside they're similar, but their backcourt is younger. They don't. I don't know how you could shoot it as well as that unit shot it last year. They were just. When you look at their numbers, the threes per game, the percentages, the offensive efficiency. They've always been a good defensive team. That team was as elite as it gets when you really analyze their numbers. This year's team, for them, those kids are still getting their feet wet. I think they're still very, very talented and very good, and probably their growth will be more than their team last year, because they kind of hit the ground running last year. But last year's team, there aren't many Division II teams ever that are going to look like that.
Well, one of the key contributors last season, he's arguably the best player in the South Atlantic Conference, is Luquan Choice. First team All-League selection a season ago, also a preseason honorable mention All-American by the Sporting News. He's a lot to handle. How do you plan to stop him?
Well, it's like any good player. You try to limit his opportunity first, and then analyze the stats and analyze his game on film, and do your best to take away his strengths. He is he's such a calm force for them. You're not going to rattle him. You're not going to kind of shake him. You just have to try to limit him the best that you can. I think he's their rock, and has been for quite a few years. So we'll see what we can do with him.
Last thing for you, Coach. Lincoln Memorial has kind of been the team that stood in the way of Queens. You said they're probably our biggest rival in the offseason. Josh Schertz, he's a former assistant of yours here at High Point. You know him very well. Size up this matchup from that standpoint for me. Do you talk to him at all during the week, or do the phones go off when it's Queens Lincoln Memorial Week?
Yeah, we don't talk. It's a tough deal because I'm very proud of what Josh has done. He's one of the hardest workers in college basketball. He studies the game. He's a lot like Buzz Williams in that he studies the game and he gets better all the time. Obviously, he's doing a great job with recruiting, with coaching, with organizes his program. A lot of the guys that are on his staff, Chris Cottrell, his top assistant, was with me at High Point as well. So that makes it hard. It makes it really hard. You want to be really happy for him, but you also want to progress your own program. So it's bittersweet.
Well, we'll find out more on Saturday. Big contest, Queens and Lincoln Memorial. It's a battle for supremacy in the South Atlantic Conference. If you can, come on out to the Levine Center. Check it out. It's Youth Day. All children under the age of 18 get in with free admission. If not, check out the video broadcast, queensathletics.com/RoyalsLive. Coach, good luck on Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Phil.